Once this link is, can people view it over and over again then?
I don't know.
Should I go in the nose? No, I'm just kidding.
You don't have any bats in the cave.
Kind of gets all the wiggles out and you feel not so sure.
You feel wiggles? Is that what you said?
Uh-huh.
Maybe they're not bats.
It's not my big problem. No.
It's and that's the video that's being sent. And
Okay. Do I have a clicker here?
sure we're here. Now the reward.
She wants to sit so she can listen in the chat. Okay. Let me see. Okay, great. Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Christine Burke. I'm a student success coach at Rio Salado. I primarily work with struggling students, so hopefully you don't hear from me. I'm just kidding. I work with all students. This is the post-bac orientation. So, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions about post-bac, which is the traditional post-bac, or the teacher residence program, which is also a post-bac program. So feel free to, you can ask in the middle or afterwards, whatever is easier for you guys. This just gives us a little bit of background information on Rio Salado College and when we were founded, and that we're one of the largest of the 10 Maricopa County community colleges. Other community colleges now do have online courses, but we specialize in that. All of our courses are online. We call some of them hybrid. We do have components within the courses that you'll take at the educator prep program that require you to go in person. And that's what kind of makes it somewhat of a hybrid component. But they are, all the courses, all the assignments are online. You do have field experience components, and I'll go into that throughout the presentation. What is our primary focus? Online learning, customized programs, collaborative partnerships, and accelerated formats. Our program also is not geared towards the, I guess, typical college student, 18-year-old. Our average age is actually about, in our teacher program, I believe it's 38 years old. So, we cater to older. That's not old. We know that's not old, but just a little bit older of a student population. People who want to go back to school, who are stay-at-home moms, working adults who have jobs during the day. And the great part about our program is it's flexible. You can take your classes at night. I schedule the classes within my, since I teach some of them, I schedule them within my work week. So I know I have to come to the office certain days. I know what nights I have free, and I schedule them. I find that is the best way to be successful with your online course, not just saying, oh, Sunday I'll do my class. It's more having that scheduled time into your work week to make sure that happens, because a lot of times you'll have to take an exam and then our testing center is not open. So knowing our testing center hours, having yourself scheduled for that time, setting aside 3 to 5 hours depending on how many courses you're taking, helps you be successful. This is just giving you an example of some of our student population: college graduates, working adults, stay-at-home parents, and career switchers. Screen always, I'm not sure if this is us or you or both, actually, because I didn't create the presentation. We're optimistic, and we're optimistic that we can help you be an educator. And these are characteristics, I think, that help you be a successful educator as well. Optimistic, intentional, responsible, courageous, and respectful. And sensitive. And passionate. A lot of times people go into teaching, especially if it's your second career, because you've always wanted to be a teacher. And that's incredibly commendable. So that this is something you've wanted to do, and having that perseverance is key in being successful in the profession. How can a community college provide a post-bac Baccalaureate teacher prep program. Well, we were authorized by the state in 1998 to when they revised teacher certification requirements, and we have been a highly qualified program since. What are the 5 most marketable college degrees? And as you can see, education is one of them. There's a huge shortage, especially in Arizona right now. We have, I think the last time I heard, maybe 2,100 classrooms vacant. 2,000, yeah. So as a teacher, I've been a teacher for 25 years. As a teacher, that to me tells me, know what you want, know what works for you. Not be, egotistical about it. At the same time, know what you're looking for, and I always recommend people going into the profession, go get your sub-cert. Go out there, see what's out there, see what you really like. You might think you like elementary school, and then spend a week with a classroom of 5th graders and go, there is no, I can't do this. Or go and teach high school, and you think maybe you can't relate to 10th graders, and you find that teaching high school is great because you really connect with a lot of different kids. You really feel like you're making a difference. Junior high is I loved teaching junior high, but it's definitely a personality thing. You have to really enjoy that specific student growth spurt, if you say. But go out there, experience all different kinds of settings, districts, environments, and see what works for you. Because clearly the ball's in your court, These are some statistics relating to the profession itself. The NEA estimates that in the next decade, more than 2 million new teachers will be needed to replace retirees and tend to increasing student populations. And even teachers who have been teachers for a long time are leaving the field or going into other things. I was in the classroom for 12 years, and I'm glad that I can teach, and teach prospective people going into the field. So things shift, things move around, and there's just a lot of availability out there now. That's good for you. We're not just looking for bilingual special ed math and science now. There are positions all over, people getting mid-year. Now we have a teacher in residence program. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that program. This isn't the orientation on that, but I can give you some information about that as well. The teacher in residence program is about for people who have a bachelor's degree, just like you guys, and get a position at a district that's hiring and in great need, and they don't have a certificate yet. So the district says, we want you to teach special ed. We don't have anybody else in the classroom. We think you can do a good job. Let's offer you a, what do they call it, an intent to hire? Mm-hmm. Okay, and they'll give you a letter stating an intent to hire. And so you can take that with that supporting documentation from the district and bring it to us and say, I want to be an intern. It's not a full-fledged certificate, but the Department of Ed issues an intern certificate. And with the district and us and the Department of Ed, it's a triangular partnership. You can become an intern teacher on that certificate in the classroom, working towards your full-fledged certificate as long as you have a secured position in a district and doing your coursework online with us. That's, like I said, that's a different program than this traditional post-bac, but we can talk about that if anybody has any specific questions about that. That's actually the majority of our enrollment. Their courses are similar. It's just a more rigorous program. There's not as much flexibility. You have to take all your courses within 2 years, and it's a structured program, whereas this gives you a little bit more flexibility if you only want to take 1 or 2 classes. And at the end of the traditional post-bac, you have your capstone student teaching experience. The teacher in residence program does not have the capstone experience.
The capstone is actually your 2 years of teaching.
If I can answer more in-depth questions about that. This is just going over what areas are still in need, and really some of the benefits now of being in a teacher shortage for you, for us, for prospective teachers, is that there's a lot of need out there, and there might even be some possible starting salary bonus or even loan forgiveness programs if you're in a specific area. those are all things to look into when you're in a certified area after teaching. These are our primary programs, our elementary certificate, our secondary certificate, and our special ed certificate. The Department of Ed recently changed credentials becoming certified in special ed. It used to be separate with learning. You'd have a certificate in LD, a certificate in ED, a certificate in mild and MIR, or OHI. You'd have different certificates. Now it's gone to more of a mild moderate certificate and a moderate to severe. We only issue, and we only have a program in the mild to moderate. So if you're looking to become certified in a more severe and profound setting, teaching a self-contained or an alternative placement for a more restrictive environment for maybe autism or self-contained ED classroom, things that are a bit more severe for that certificate, we don't offer that certificate. We offer the mild to moderate. So you can see the different credit hours required for each program. 43 for elementary, 34 for secondary, and 44 for special ed. And you can also see what areas you will be able to teach under each certificate. So the elementary is 1st through 8th, the secondary is 6th through 12th, and the special ed is K through 12th. We do have an early childhood education program that we've recently revised. It's 45 credit hours, and it's specific to birth through 3rd grade. So these are some secondary certificates that we also have specific areas for certification: arts, dance, dramatic arts, and music. So in addition to the core content areas like math or biology or, English, we also offer these.
There are also the K through 12.
That's good to know that they're K through 12. This is where we go into some of the in-person requirements. Like we talked about, most of the requirements are online, all of your assignments. So if you go through a class and you look at your assignments, you read through the syllabus, the content might even have some engaging activities within the lesson itself. It might have some videos to watch. It has a research and action assignment in it, which is kind of like a project. It also has the in-person field experience. Not all of the courses, a lot of the courses. And the in-person field experience in your syllabus, it will have a link for you to request that. You're going to want to do that as soon as you start your course, because that field experience we secure for you, and sometimes it takes several weeks to get that going. And if you have 20 or 25 hours required within the course to complete, and you don't have your site yet, it'll take some time to get those hours done, to get in touch with your mentor teacher. So as soon as you get into your course, if you see it has an in-person field experience requirement, go straight to that request form in the syllabus so you can secure that. And in those courses, there'll be 3 components. Some of them will just have observation hours, depending on the level of the course, if it's a level 1 or a level 2 course. Some of them will have teaching hours and tutoring hours, depending on how many hours are required and depending on if it's a level 1 or level 2 course. The names of the people down here are outreach specialists, and they are so smart. They know all the answers that I don't know. They know, Stephanie's one of them, and just specific program questions, because I know more, I don't know what I know more of, but they know more ADE requirements, what test to take. I didn't realize that it's not good to take the middle school's test, because then that only gives you a specific area to teach. Let's say you wanted to teach secondary, what's a middle school example test?
Math.
Okay. So geometry or algebra or something like you wanted to teach. Let's say you wanted to teach high school algebra, but you took the middle school's, I don't even know if there's a middle school's algebra test, I'm just thinking out loud here. If they have middle school's algebra test offered through the NES, you want to veer, or you don't want to take that one, you want to take the high school, it would be called, the high school NES algebra test. So then you would be certified 7th or 7th through 12th instead of just 6th, 7th, and 8th middle school area, and that would cover you for more content areas and really just give you more opportunity to accept different positions. That's the phone number I think we do send this presentation out to you after it's presented. So if there's any information in here that you want to look back at, you can take a look at it. And I think we're live. We're on YouTube. I don't know if you can go back and look at it. I probably will later tonight with a glass of wine, just to see if it went well. These are some benefits to distance learning. Like I said, I personally like the fact that I can go home, grade my papers in the luxury of my own home. I can do assignments. You can work all day, take a break, spend time with your kids, and then if you need to do an assignment, you can do it at 10 o'clock at night. You can print out your lessons. I find a lot of students print out their lessons and use the lessons, highlight them so that they can read them during the course of their day or if they're traveling, and then come back and do the assignment and just submit it like that. There's lots of different ways to make it work for you, but it definitely gives you a lot of flexibility with being able to go to school. Sorry. This is just a basic overview of what we talked about with the field experience. It can range anywhere from 3 to 30 hours. It can even be a virtual field experience. I know our EDU 251 course is virtual. So the hours you have to complete in the course itself, it has the links, it has the videos. So you watch the videos at home, you complete that virtual experience. It's awesome. You don't even have to put in the online request. It's just right there for you. That's just a review of the 3 different components depending on what course you take. It is important to know if you haven't subbed already or you haven't been in the classroom, a lot of you probably already have, but if you haven't, to get on top of ordering your IVP fingerprint clearance card, I think it's a $60 or $65 fee, and
57.
57? I like to round up. 57, fill out the application, do your fingerprints, get that card as soon as possible because that's going to help you get into the classroom. That's going to get you your sub-cert. You need that for your sub-cert. And then that's going to give you access to being able to sub, get paid to go out and experience what it is you want to do. This is just the link that is in your syllabus on how to request your field experience. It's giving you some information on how far in advance. We talked a little bit about that. If your course starts on a Monday, you're going to want to request it, fill out that form by the end of the week because it'll take up to 21 days to complete that component, just to even actually complete the request, to finalize the request. And if you're taking a 14-week course, 21 days, that's the first several weeks of your course. Oops, sorry. Virtual field experience, it's the only course I know right now that we have in is 251. I don't know of other ones, but that's probably because 251 was the SEI course, and we used to have several SEI courses, but with the change in the requirement for SEI now, we only have 1 course embedded in our program to complete for SEI. We used to have 2, and now the ADs changed the SEI requirement, so we only have 1 embedded. Testing, where do you take your midterm and your final exams? We have testing center locations throughout the valley. This one here is one of our biggest. I think our facility here is amazing. I love going out to the Queen Creek location too, like all our facilities. This one though, we have a bookstore, we have a library. Go downstairs, eat at the cafe. The cafe, we have a garden where we grow a lot of our own vegetables, and I think our cafe is awesome. So I know we don't think it's a traditional college, but you can go get a Rio Salado t-shirt. You can go to the library. You can work on the computer, take your test, and go downstairs and have some, coffee. Make it, more of an in-person experience. So these are just some of our testing center locations. I always recommend looking on our website and seeing what times they open and close, and you want to give yourself ample time, at least 2 hours. They like to have at least 2 hours because your test takes a while. And if the testing center closes at 6 and you show up at 5:45, they're not going to stay there until 8 to finish the test. So make sure give yourself enough time so you don't get anxious and they don't want to close, and you can be successful. What can Rio do for you? We can make you become a highly qualified and effective teacher. Yes, we can. These are the steps to the application process. So you're here. That's the first step. You have the packet. You're getting to know what the requirements are. After that, you're going to want to complete the application and contact the student advising to get enrolled in courses. Here's the phone number and the email address if you have any questions. And you know what? My email address will be at the end of this. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, I'm more than happy. If I don't have the answer, I will get back to you as soon as possible with the answer to help you complete the application process. Once you have everything done on your check sheet, which includes the application, it includes getting official transcripts, it includes, does it include the IVP fingerprint clearance card, the clearance card? There's a checklist in your packet that tells you all of the required components that you need. Once you have all that, make an appointment with academic advising. Come in, get your application complete, and you can enroll in courses. That's the process for getting into the traditional post-bac program. It is a different process for the teacher in residence program, but again, that's a different program. If you want more information for that, I'm more than happy to give you information. Okay, here we go. This is the financial aid. You're going to want to go to the FAFSA application and complete that. You're going to also want to register for EDU 100-101, and that is an overview of the program. I'm kind of giving you a little bit about the application process now, but that gives you an overview of what the program has and what it offers and what is expected within the program itself. And then right here, it's telling you the steps that you're going to want to do to get into the program. Has anyone taking a course in the Maricopa County Community Colleges? Any classes? They have, okay, so you have like an MEID number? Perfect. So that's you're gonna wanna first get a Maricopa County MEID number, so you're enrolled as a Maricopa County student, college student, and then you're going to wanna apply to Rio Salado, which is our program. So you're going to want to create an MEID first, and if that process is not in here, I can send that process to you. It's a, you know, I think you go to mymaricopa.edu and you get a username and password. The AccuPlacer is a basic skills test that you take that is required for all students enrolling in Rio. It basically just says that you have basic skills. We know you have basic skills because you have a bachelor's degree. I hope you have basic skills. But if not, this is the test that will determine that. And there's a survey, the STAR Teacher Pre-Screener. It's actually a really interesting survey. If you want to go to the Haberman Foundation, it's a website. And this man did a lot of research on what were the most effective qualities as a teacher should have. And the Haberman, you take the Haberman and it gives you an overview of some of the areas you might struggle in. And there are areas that you might not even know that you would have a concern with. You might think, oh, you might not even think it's a concern in teaching, like if you've never been in the classroom. There's some component called bureaucracy, like you struggle with bureaucracy, you're like, well, what does that even mean? You know, going into the profession, what is that? Well, it's really learning the policies and the procedures within your district. And the district, each district has their own different type of way of dealing with things. Maybe requesting money for supplies, or knowing who's your mentor teacher, finding out who, just different, you know, what courses you need to take within the district as a new teacher. Those are all components of the Haberman that help you see your strengths and your weaknesses so that you can work on those areas when you're working to become a teacher. The transcripts, your IVP fingerprint clearance card, and then your CAP form. Your CAP form is in the application there, depending on the area you requested for certification. So your one step you do want to do, if you haven't done it already, also is to go take the NES subject knowledge test, because what we prepare you for in our post-bac program is the methodology of how to become a teacher, giving you teacher strategies, teaching you, we're a teacher prep program, so we're training you how to be an effective educator. That doesn't mean we're teaching the content. With a bachelor's degree, we're assuming that you're coming to us if you have a bachelor's in English, a bachelor's in algebra, whatever your content area is, you got that instruction. You received that instruction with your undergrad degree. So that means that you should be able to take the NES in your subject. If you go on the NES website and look for, oh, I want to teach secondary geometry, go to the NES website, look for the subject knowledge test in secondary geometry, take it, pass it, then apply. Because that subject knowledge is going to need to be passed, whether it's passed now or at any point to become a certified teacher in that area. The second part of that test you'll take towards the end of the program when you've received skills in taking classroom management, skills in decoding, skills in the courses that we offer to prepare you as an effective teacher. But the subject test is something that you're coming to us with. So you're going to want to look at the NES website and see what subject you want to teach and take it. And then at the end of our program, you'll take the professional knowledge. Do you have any questions? Anybody have questions on that?
Like the secondary?
I'm sorry?
Is that only for secondary?
No, because the elementary,
Every subject, everyone has a subject knowledge test that they have to take. So if you're elementary, you're gonna have sub-test 1 and 2. If you're special education, you're gonna have the special education subject knowledge test. If you're secondary, it's gonna be math or science or English. So for post-bac, you can get through your level 1 classes, and then before you get into level 2, you have to have that NES test passed along with your level 2 application.
So what Stephanie that makes sense. After the level, you can get into the initial program without taking the subject. But in order to even complete the program, you're gonna have to take the subject and the profession. So it's helpful to take it as soon as possible, just to even know what areas you've been struggling. But the subject is your expertise and the professional is our expertise. And there it says right there to take the subject knowledge during your level 1 courses, and then you're going to submit your formal application for level 2, which is the second step of courses, the more advanced courses with more in-person field experience components, hours. That's where you start to teach a little bit and tutor a little bit, not just observe. And then your last part is your 12-week student teaching, which is level 3. That's your capstone, and that's the completion of the program. This is just giving you a bit of detail of the capstone experience. Again, this is not till the tail end after you've completed all of your coursework. It is a 12-week full-time student teaching experience that you pay us for the experience because you get credit hours at the end of that. We place you in a school setting for 12 weeks with a mentor teacher, with a supervising practitioner, and they, once your capstone experience is successful, you'll have somebody come out and observe you. You'll receive feedback on those observations. And once you've completed those 12 weeks successfully, you've completed all your coursework, you've taken the subject knowledge and the professional knowledge, you'll get an institutional recommendation from us that will get you your certificate. This is going over some of the experiences that you'll have in the classroom: observation, one-on-one interaction, teaching in small groups. We require all of those components to be completed during student teaching so that we know you've had that experience. We know that you've done some actual teaching. By the end of your experience, you'll have taken over that entire classroom. You'll be teaching. You'll be the teacher in front of the class, while your supervising practitioner will not, they'll be facilitating it. But we want to know that by the end of those 12 weeks, you're comfortable in leading a class. So all of those responsibilities will happen during those 12 weeks. We do have an annual teacher career day, so if by the end of the program, which a lot of times during student teaching you get an offer of employment. If that's not something, if you don't accept that offer, or if there wasn't an offer and you kind of want to look around, we do have a teacher career day. I know there's also the Great Arizona Teach-In, which is held in March or April sometime. and we can get that information to you if it's not already out there. I think if you Google Great Arizona Teaching, it should come up. It's out in West Phoenix, and all the districts go out. It's on a Saturday, and the districts we're there, and so you can see what's available in the different districts, and you could even enroll in our program and get a contract at a district at that time too. You could see what, it's a good, just to see what's out there. Right now, this is just telling you what you can kind of do right now. Like we talked about, you can go get your sub certificate, get your IVP fingerprint clearance card, and request your physical so that you can get yourself in the classroom on a sub cert. And you could even teach right now with a bachelor's degree, with a sub cert and an IVP fingerprint clearance card. You could go and teach as a full-time teacher at a charter school or a private school right now, because you're not required to have a certificate in those schools. This is what we were talking about with the teacher in residence program. It is a partnership between you, us, the school district, and they say, you have a bachelor's in math? Okay, well, we have 3 classrooms available. Which one would you like to teach? That's a possibility. You're subbing and they want you. They offer you the intent to hire and you come to us. We put you on an intern certificate that is only valid for 2 years. This is something important to know. Once you get an intern certificate, you can't, I get confused with this all the time, you can't get an emergency cert. If you get an emergency cert and that expires, you can get an intern cert. So it's important to know that distinction, because we do have people who go on an intern certificate, not meet the requirements of their courses, fail their courses, and then their district says, we're not going to hire you back because your intern certificate is no longer valid, and they want to go on an emergency cert, but they can't because they already had an intern cert offer. So if you want to go a roundabout way, you could do the post-bac traditional program, get an emergency cert, go in the classroom, but don't get an intern cert. There's just different avenues to get, just depending on what your goal is. I do think getting the coursework, I mean, this is just my perspective, getting the coursework, getting some of the courses done first and really getting your feet wet and seeing what it's like. If you do get a job offer, at least then you've done some of the coursework, then the teacher in residence program is not as stringent because you've taken some of the courses out of the way. If this is something you're interested in, I can give you a Stephanie's card. This is the CAP form that you have in front of you, depending on what area you're thinking about certification. I don't think watch this video. Can I click on that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think the video is there. When we send out the PowerPoint, you guys will have to see if the video is there, if it works. The great thing about these CAP forms, I love these CAP forms because Stephanie, if they send class, or I've already taken that class. Well, I can go to the CAP form and go, well, you took it, but you got a D. Or no, you didn't take it because you still need it. Or, the CAP form for me, if I were the student, I would want to have that on my fridge and know what I took and when I took it, so that I don't have to worry about whether I'm fulfilling my program requirements. We do have some master's degree partnerships, so that's something to consider. I know ASU has a master's and a teacher in residence program, and you do get a master's degree when you complete the teachers in residence program. However, it's much more costly. Our program is $86 a credit, and that is really cost effective. You can even get financial aid to help you, pay for some of that. We do also have scholarships that are available. Once you complete the FAFSA, we were just talking about this in one of our meetings last week. Once you complete the FAFSA, and then you send it to Rio, just like you'd send it to any school that you're applying to get into, scholarships pop up. Scholarships pop up for different students depending on need, depending on your qualifications, depending on what you completed on the FAFSA. We were just talking about some scholarships we didn't even know still existed. What was it? The student, what was it?
Success.
Student Success Scholarship. I think I have to put you in for a recommendation for that. And people are getting like $500, $1,000 and they didn't even really do anything other than fill out the FAFSA. So knowing that you apply to a college and that they have these programs available, depending on need and depending on when you complete the FAFSA, it's great to know that that's possibly something you could get. It's free money. So I would recommend filling out the FAFSA, even if you don't think you need it, because maybe you could get some scholarship.
Does the state of Arizona require that teachers eventually get their masters?
No, it's not a state requirement.
Because didn't it used to be a state requirement?
It's never been a state requirement in Arizona. Yeah, that's, so it is, it's great because it moves you over on the salary schedule, but it's not.
How many states do require that?
No, it's a good question. I know that the other states I resided in did require it, but it's never been a state requirement here. But it's a benefit in the sense that it's just going to immediately, hopefully, especially if there's a shortage, you would hope, even if you don't have experience, that would move you over to not just entry level first year. That's the hope. I would say that. I would definitely, plead my case if I were you, and you have a master's degree. We no longer have the Plymouth State partnership. We do have the North Central partnership. So if you're going to complete our post-bac, sorry?
We also have the University of Phoenix.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
We did?
We do.
We still do?
We do.
Oh, okay. We did at one time, and then I didn't think we did, and now we do. Okay, that's good to know. Which is awesome, because if you complete up to 18 credit hours that you complete with us can be transferred into a master's degree. So that means you're paying for 18 credit hours at $86 a credit. And a master's degree is typically what? Anywhere from
24,000 at AC.
There you go. And so that could save you a lot of money potentially if North Central has, and U of P offers a master's program that you feel works for you. The Encore College 50+ teacher program is me meeting you with a group of other students who are about 50 years old and drinking a cup of coffee. So there's not much additional other than you want to just kind of brainstorm, schedule out your classes. It's just kind of a camaraderie among students who are going back to school, maybe who haven't been in school in a while and want to bounce ideas off of. If I have a big calling in that area, if there's people who are requesting that, I can start making some meet and greets maybe once a month or every other week or whatever it is, and helpful. But there's nothing specific. I've had a couple questions. Well, what does the Encore College program, do for me? Well, we can meet at Starbucks. Sorry, that's me. So this is just going over some of our support services. As you can see, the tech guys are so beneficial, so helpful. You can call, you can go and you can call and ask and chat with a librarian. I went on the library page the other day to look at some of our resources, and if you log in with your MEID number, you can request materials not just from our library, from other libraries. You can have it sent to you, you can pick them up here. We have online resources, we have ebooks, we have, I don't know if anybody's ever been to the library. It's awesome. It's a great resource that you have included with your tuition. So it's just good to have that additional resource. This is some information on some additional resources for counseling. She can veer you in the right direction when it comes to career paths, whether you're not sure if that's the right direction you want to go in. We also have resources for test taking tips. I have online resources. We also offer tutoring here too. You can schedule time with a tutor. So going to our riosalado.edu website, sometimes I get lost because there's so many resources to look at. I guess you just kind of have to know what you're looking for, so you don't get lost with all of it. But there's a ton out there to help you be successful. Oh, sorry. That's a good screen to see how much it is per credit, because if you only feel like taking one class one semester, it's only a couple $100. And that compares our program to a full-time semester. Is that semester? That's semester at ASU. All those on two. Now that's 2 semesters. That's a year. That's a year.
5 years.
That sells itself right now. What, that's 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's now more
Well,
expensive.
I know my daughter's going to NAU next year, and I know her tuition is that for the year at NAU. So our tuition for Rio for the year is, it's not much more than that though.
No, I think ours is correct.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I don't know about ASU, but I know that NAU is kind of sticking at a certain, once you enroll, and they try to give you that rate for the next 4 years, so it's close to that. But if ours is accurate, that's good to know if that's a year. These are just some additional fees that you're going to be out of pocket. And I'm glad that it includes the slide on student teaching, because some, you know, it's 8 credit hours for 12 weeks, and that is the fee for that. So sometimes you're not, you know, you're not aware of upfront of how much student teaching costs. That's how much student teaching does cost. And this is what you're saving by going online. You don't have to come here when you take your test. These are some of the awards we've won. Oh. This gives you some background on how, I know we're a well-respected program because I have people ask us, you know, just say, oh, well, I've heard of Rio, or, you know, I see our signs up when I'm driving home. So I know that it's a well-respected program, and it's good to know that we're affordable, people know about us, and it's respected. You know, the districts, I know districts that even recommend us, you know, say, well, go to Rio. They'll give you a good program. It'll be affordable. We have students in the course, I can see different icons of students, like what population, like if they're, what are some of our different student populations? Like we have students who are in the military, we have students who are incarcerated, and we have an incarcerated population.
well, not for teaching.
Not for teaching, yeah.
But for Rio.
For Rio, in general. That is funny. So when you look at your icon, you can know that we really do serve a diverse population throughout the world. It's incredible that we can have students go to school online. And I had a student once from Turkey, that she was in Turkey. I thought that was really interesting. She was teaching in Turkey. This is important to know. We do issue an institutional recommendation. So it's just important to know if you plan on teaching only in Arizona or if you plan on teaching in other states, what their state requirements are. Many times it might be an additional course, or just becoming familiar if you do think you're going to ever move out of state. States don't necessarily have reciprocity. So it's just important to be aware of that this is a certificate that you'll receive for Arizona. Well, we went over the online classes, the affordable tuition, and the Monday start dates. We do have block scheduling, so we do start every Monday within that block time frame. We do stop enrollment at a certain point in the semester, so that's considered the fall semester, and then we do the same thing for spring. Like right now, I think today was the last day for enrollment.
For TIR.
Oh, for teachers and residents. So that's our TIR program. So, but there is a certain point that enrollment is stopped for each semester, because that's a fall semester and that's a spring semester. But we do have Monday start dates. If you have any questions about these slides, please let me know if you want further info on any of those. It's just kind of giving you some benefits to why you want to enroll with Rio. And that's the phone number that you will want to call once you have all of your application materials together. We are here for the session we schedule out 6 to 8 just for questions, for people who want to stay after, who have individual concerns. If we have any group questions that you feel is beneficial for the group, please feel free to ask me now so that everyone can benefit from that. But if you think you have some individual concerns, I'm here to stay after and talk about any questions you have. And I can also put the, well, that's the phone number, but I can put the slide at whatever. I can have my card out and Stephanie's card out, so you have the phone number if you have any questions you want to call us, or if you want to email us any questions about you. So, thank you everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Stop it.